All right, guys, back on Southeastern 16 with Max Barr previewing second round NCAA tournament action for the SEC, and we make it to number 3 Kentucky versus
Oh
number
yeah.
6 Illinois. It's time. Midwest region, second round, 4:15 p.m. Central Time on CBS on Sunday. That one's in Milwaukee. And yeah, Max, we talked about it on the reaction show on Friday. People were saying, which team would you want to see? Do you want to see Illinois? Do you want to see Xavier? And we kept looking at it and saying, well, there are reasons both ways, but everyone sort of settled on, hey, I'd rather see Illinois. And we talked about kind of the streaky nature of this Illinois team, throughout the season. But after seeing him play that game against Xavier, I don't know if this is, necessarily a team that is on the wrong side of that streakiness right now. They're looking pretty good as they came out and got the 13-point win over the Musketeers. We're up 17 with about 8 minutes to go in that game. Pretty impressive performance there for the Illini, but also an impressive performance for the Cats to pull away there down the stretch against Troy, setting up a really fun second-round matchup here.
Yeah, two teams that weirdly, uniquely had very similar kind of mid-conference season injury woes, like weird injury woes, though not normal, with like illnesses, guys missing this game, that game, then one guy's out, the other one comes back in, and now both kind of finally have found some lineup continuity. And you can really tell with Illinois. I think it was Mono that swept through the Fighting Illini and Big Z. Well, the other Big Z. What these guys are dealing with is not going to be defense, Blake, because we're going to have two of the most efficient offenses. Illinois coming in at 14th on Ken Palm, Kentucky at 10th, and man, it's not just a gaming of the analytics. We're talking spread offenses. Mahomes against Josh Allen in the shotgun. All the weapons are ready, Blake. This is going to be a fun offensive battle here.
Yeah, and I think that quickly to me, if we're talking about just the way this game could play out, like, hey, what are the biggest keys to victory? Well, clearly, I mean, I think for Kentucky, it's defense. Like, it's how they defend this Illinois team, because like we said, I mean, talk about the streakiness all we want, but they're on the right side of that right now in terms of the way they're playing. We mentioned kind of coming into this tournament, they had won, what was it, 4 of, I think, 5 coming into this. Yeah, they had a couple wins over Iowa, beat Michigan on the road, beat Purdue, lost to Maryland in blowout fashion in the Big Ten tournament, but they come out, play well against a hot Xavier team. So, yes, like Illinois is trending in the right direction. There's no question about that. And again, when you look at their profile, a team that, I mean, it feels like, honestly, Max, like offensively, there are some similarities between these teams outside of just how they get their points. I mean, there are, again, some things in common, but we know Kentucky statistically shoots the ball a lot better than Illinois. That's the one thing where when you're looking at this, we said the strength of Kentucky all season defensively has just been their ability, to force opponents to not shoot it well from 3. Illinois on the season shooting 31.4%. That's 296 nationally. But, again, I think that they do have different ways they can score, and they did shoot in this game against Xavier. They went 12 of 30, right, for 40%. Visick hit 4. Riley hit 3. Boswell hit 3. So it's just like, okay, if they're hitting shots, they become a lot harder to defend because they can score in a variety of ways. And just even though the percentages aren't that great, I think Kentucky's perimeter defense here with Lamont Butler and company, that's a big key if they're going to win this one.
Yeah, Kentucky's perimeter defense, Illinois' interior defense, because that's where they're going to force the Cats to score. Illinois probably, man, I can't really think of a handful of teams off the top of my head that do a better job than Illinois at limiting your good looks from 3. You're not going to get them. They rank, 330th nationally in opponent points from 3. There's only about 30 teams in the nation that give up a larger portion of points or a smaller portion of points from 3 than Illinois. So whose game is it going to be, Blake? Whose game is it going to be for the Cats? He's been healthy. He's been telling us he's healthy. He's saying he's feeling great. I'm feeling great, guys. Andrew Carr against the length of Illinois. I really think in the mid-range, he's got that game suited. Him and Oweh, obviously, with Oweh being aggressive. But Andrew Carr in the mid-range, Blake, I think that quite literally could be the difference for this Cats offense.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Because again, we've always kind of said, I feel like throughout the season when we talk about Andrew Carr, like Amari Williams gets more attention, but it's like the
Yeah.
combination of the two is always crucial for this Kentucky team. Especially, I do think when you're playing teams like this, because we know Illinois' got size. In terms of what they're going to support out there from a lineup standpoint. I mean, let me see. Yeah, like you're going to have, as we always say, Yakachonis at the point, who's 6'6". Riley's 6'8". You've got, like I said, a Visig, 7'1". Like all these different guys, and that's why I think that again, just the size that Illinois is going to bring to the table. I mean, that's a challenge, but we know Kentucky also has the ability, just with the way those two guys can play with Amari Williams and Andrew Carr. That's going to play a big role in this game. Elsewhere we always talk about these kind of games. Who wins and who loses can be decided by one or two, rebounds here or there. And I think when you look at it, Illinois, good offensive rebounding team. Kentucky's done a good job limiting that this season. We know there are a lot of teams in the SEC who try to crash the offensive glass, but Kentucky's been pretty good at preventing that. So that's another key here, not to let those big bodies for Illinois get those second chance opportunities, because again, that's where the percentages, even though they shot it well against Xavier, they have a very high upside from three, but they also can miss some shots. And I think that's where Kentucky, again, the perimeter defense, to me, if Illinois comes out and they start, 4 or 6 from three, it's going to be, trouble. Like that's the danger zone for Kentucky, because I think you don't want to, allow them to get going, because they can score, from inside the arc. They're a good free throw shooting team. All these different things that they know how to score the ball. And so I think that's where you want to see Kentucky come out right from the jump with a very gritty, hard-nosed defensive effort here, because that's what it's going to take, I think, to slow down this Illinois team. Because remember, too, let's call it what it is. We were talking about Illinois way back when. I mean, that looked like a top 10 team in the country. And, I mean, they were playing like it. And that upside, I think, is still there to make a run in this tournament. It's just, for me, it's going to come down to, can they shoot the ball well enough, and, are they going to defend it well enough to slow down what is also a very good offensive team in Kentucky? These two teams in the top 15 in the country in adjusted offensive efficiency.
The battle on the wing is going to be huge, Blake. We mentioned the, kind of the injury bug that hit the Illini. A big reason why they hit this, kind of this patch of consistency here in March. Will Riley started getting the starts in December, January. The offense was real sporadic, and boy, is he playing confident right now. Pretty much dropping 20 a game in the past 5-6 games at 6'8" on the wing. I really like the way that Kobe Brea has been doing a little bit more than just being a shooter, kind of getting his hands dirty, getting in there, rebounding, defending. That matchup on the wing. Do we look up at halftime? Kobe Brea is 4 of 4, and he's winning that matchup against Riley on the wing, or is Riley, 10 and 6, and he's the one winning that matchup? It's a fun game of backcourt, wing, and front court here, Blake, because you have guys that they rely on offensively in each area. The thing for Kentucky, though, with Lamont Butler really not being an offensive threat, who steps up and supports him? Like I said earlier, I really think this is Andrew Carr in the mid-range with how Illinois takes you off that three-point line.
All right, picks.
With that being said, I am going to go Fighting Illini. I'm going to go Fighting Illini in this one. I am falling trap, Blake, to the recency bias of March. I see you on a neutral floor. You're hitting your shots. Guys, let's be honest. The reason that this thing is a spread is you got a very tight matchup here of a very high variance game with a lot of three-pointers being taken that really could swing this thing one way or the other. Good luck pinning the result down on this one. I'm going to go Illinois just because I think they're the hotter team right now, and I really like Yakuchonis, but coin flip for me.
Yeah, I think Illinois found their way. I think that they're, like we said, they're just playing a lot better basketball right now. I don't feel like they're as streaky or inconsistent, and we mentioned all the reasons why that was. When they hit a couple of those rough patches during the regular season, they look more like the team that we thought they would be this season. Um, Beeson has a great stat here, and that is Illinois is allowing opponents to shoot 41.5% from three since the start of February. Kentucky can shoot the three, and I think they will run enough good stuff to get those opportunities to be able to knock down shots. My one worry, though, is Kentucky defensively in this matchup because I know what Illinois can be based on how we've kind of seen them trending in the offensive department, right? I mean, they're very good. So I'm going to pick Kentucky because I think that this is one where they can get enough good and open shots. And the trends tell us that Illinois has allowed teams to get good and open shots from three. And if you're getting some opportunities for Kobe Brea, all these different guys who we know can knock down shots, I think that may be the difference in what is going to be a high-scoring game. But I tell you, my mind on this could completely turn if I see Kentucky come out early and sort of letting Illinois do what they want offensively, and Kentucky not being the aggressor on the defensive side. But I'm going to say that they are, and I've seen the Cats do this before, where telling me I'm getting Kentucky as an underdog as the 3 seed. Have we seen how many times this year that the Cats have been in these underdog roles and sort of they rise to the occasion? So give me the Cats in this one. This could be, I think, one of the best games of the second round just based on the offensive potential here for both teams. But we'll have you covered here at Southeastern 16. Check out our friends at Bracket Bids. Don't forget that. Hope you're enjoying the free pick'em contest, your auction draft leagues, all that fun stuff. Check it out over there. Download the Bracket Bids app or visit them at bracketbids.com. We'll have live reaction to this game on Sunday and all the other SEC games in the NCAA tournament. So hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, hit the like button as well. That helps us out. We appreciate you guys watching as always, and we'll talk to you soon here at Southeastern 16.